1 year sober, 1 year no booze, 1 year alcohol free. I kind of wanted to tell my story of why I stopped drinking alcohol. A lot of people ask how I did it, why I did it, and I thought I would just tell my story. I mean, I already talk about my issues all the time anyways. Like, I have a thyroid problem and I have raging anxiety and I need pills for everything, blah, blah, blah. But I got sober a year ago. And it's kind of a big deal, especially this day and age. Like, we drink for every occasion. Any holidays, work drinks, work event, sad, we're happy, it's an up day, it's a down day, it's a breakup, it's not a break, like anything. We drink for anything and everything. If anyone is maybe struggling with alcohol, there's help out there, and I just kind of wanted to share my story in case it helps anyone, or if you just want to know a little bit more about me. So last year, this time, I was just not feeling fulfilled, and I just felt really exhausted and like I wasn't fulfilling a purpose. The same thing over and over was happening, and I was not doing anything to change that. I was drinking a lot. It was like I would go to a dinner with somebody and have 2 drinks and then go home and be like, okay, yeah, good night, like that was so fun. And where normal people just go home and go to bed, I would continue to drink by myself until I passed out or blacked out a lot of the time. Another big reason I did stop drinking was because of my parents. I felt so bad that they've worked so hard to give me this amazing, beautiful, abundant life, and I was just pissing it away on being wasted all the time. Anyway, I felt like I was breaking my own heart every single day because I was not doing anything that filled my soul. I love to work out. I love to go to the gym. I love to get better at things in the gym. I love to cook healthy meals. I love to eat healthy. I like to look healthy. I am very vain. I care about my body and my skin, my appearance, and which is crazy that I was drinking so much. I didn't realize how much of an effect it had on me. I mean, it has an effect on everybody, but I think with my thyroid problem, it like especially had an effect on me. I felt really dishonest with myself, and it's like I preach all this healthy stuff on my channels, and I talk about my thyroid and I just felt like I wasn't like congruent. I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. I just felt dishonest with my family and my friends, and faking that I wasn't hungover all the time with my boyfriend, and was just faking that I wasn't drinking all the time. I was drinking 5 nights a week, and I couldn't stop once I started drinking. There was no, which I mean, I'm with that. I'm like that with a lot of things in my life. Like, I'm not having 1 cookie, I want to have like 6. And there was a few times where I didn't have anything to do the next day, and I woke up a little bit drunk still, and I would just decide to day drink. When that started to happen, I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm not the employee I want to be. I'm not the coworker I want to be. I'm not the friend I want to be. I'm not the girlfriend I want to be. I'm not the daughter I want. I'm not who I want to be. And I feel like drinking was getting in the way. Always like calculating when I could drink, when my next drink was gonna be. You know, it was just, I was always calculating my alcohol consumption. 9 times out of 10, I was blacking out when I drank. Even if it was wine, I was up to almost like 2 bottles of wine to myself. That's crazy. The first thing that I did was look for a therapist because I felt like my life was very much out of control and I didn't know what to do. I looked for a therapist, and subconsciously I actually chose one that dealt with alcoholism and someone that believed in God. So that leads me to my next point. I started with this therapist, and we started talking about, you know, just my life, and I started to talk to her about how much alcohol I was drinking, and I kind of was hoping that she would help me find a balance with drinking. That I was like, there was no way I was gonna cut it completely out. I think that I was like, that's just ridiculous. Like, I would never. I just wanted her to help me find a balance. Like, I used to be able to drink more in a balance, and now I don't have it, and whatever. I told her my story. She was like, okay, for the next 2 weeks until I see you again, I want you to have 1 5-ounce glass of wine when you drink. That's serving size. I just straight up could not only have 1 glass. I came back after 2 weeks and I told her that I couldn't do it. And so she was like, okay, I want you to try AA. And I was like, okay, I'll do it for you, but like, this is weird, I don't wanna do it. Anyway, I went for her, and I went, and that first day, like, everyone there was finishing my sentences when I shared about my drinking, and I just kept going back. It made me feel really good. Being around a community that was also dealing with the same stuff I was, sometimes way worse, sometimes not as bad. Somehow I just kept going back because it made me feel really good, and it kept me sober. And I wasn't planning on being sober. I planned on going in there just to find balance with drinking. I was like, oh, they'll help me to find a balance. And I also wanted to just appease my therapist. And then I ended up going back every day for a while. I only told like my family and my closest friends that I go to meetings, but I go to meetings. It's really hard. Like, we drink for everything, and everyone my age drinks, and all my best friends still drink, and like, it's fine. And I feel like I'm missing out a lot, and I feel really left out a lot of the time. But for my life and what I want, it just wasn't fitting in with my life anymore. I know I'm still a work in progress, and I don't know, like, this just seems to fit in better with my lifestyle. And I will tell you, it has felt really good to feel really good. Every time I think about like, oh, it'd be really fun to have a glass of wine, I always play the tape. Like, okay, if you had 1 glass, then what would happen? And then what would happen? And then what would, and for me, it's always like, well, I'd have another, and then I'd have another, and then I'd have another, and then I'm like watching a show by myself, drinking another bottle and blacking out. I've learned this in the meetings is just 1 day at a time. So like, just for today, don't drink, don't think too far in advance, because it can be daunting, but I've applied that to a lot in my life. Like, we really only have just today. So focus on today and what's right in front of you. A lot of people ask me like, oh, do you think, you know, since you did a year, do you think that you'll drink again? Or do you think you'll have like wine with dinner? Or, you know, I don't really see the point, because I know that if I drink, I would want to be wasted. Having 1 drink to me, why? Like, I don't see the point. But so I'm like, why would I even put myself in that situation when I know where it leads? I'm doing it 1 day at a time, and I feel a lot better, a lot more fulfilled, a lot more productive. I was craving the productivity in my life. This isn't to be preachy or judgy or anything. Literally, I don't judge anyone. Everyone, if you can drink, do it. Like, obviously I loved it. I love it. For just for my life in this moment, I don't see the point in it for me. So thanks for listening.